Okay, hi friends. Today we're going to make a pizza, deep dish pizza that is called Sfincione, which comes from my dad's hometown in Sicily, in Italy, a town called Carini. Anyway, so I'm not sure if it's Carini recipe or if it's like from the Palermo area, one of the two. So we're going to make this a deep dish pizza, like I said. It's a fairly dry pizza. It's kind of like a cross between a deep dish pizza and a focaccia, really. So we'll go through the various steps. We will use a deep pan like this. So you can see this is like I think it's about 3-inch deep pan, about 12 by 8, I think, or something like that in terms of the size. We're going to use peeled tomatoes. So 3 peeled tomatoes that we're going to crush in. You'll see that in a moment. Onion, Parmesan cheese, so little chunks of Parmesan cheese like that. Traditionally we use something called cavallo, which is the name of the cheese that comes from that general area that my dad's from, but for convenience we use, I'm using Parmesan here. Okay, then we need breadcrumbs, so any kind of breadcrumbs. We're going to have breadcrumbs mixed with oregano, so that's the main flavor in the breadcrumbs, along with a little bit of salt on top and some olive oil. So really simple recipe, obviously pizza dough as well. So let's get into it and I'll show you how to prepare this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take the pan and we're going to basically grease up the pan with some olive oil. So you can see I poured some olive oil on some paper towel, and we're going to coat the bottom and the sides. This is to prevent sticking of the pizza dough to the pan. So just kind of coat this, make sure it has a solid coating around. So there we are. So that's greased up with some oil. Now we'll take the pizza dough. Now to get the pizza dough, it's just one that I bought from the store, basically. The pizza dough like this, and it's room temperature pizza dough, so not straight out of the fridge. So make sure you leave it out for a while before you put it into the pan. Now it goes without saying that you need to wash your hands, obviously, before you do any of this, which I did. You have to trust me that I did. So you see the pizza dough in here. Now we're going to work the pizza dough in so that we have a flat surface with some sort of dents in it, similar to a focaccia. But to do that, I'm just going to put olive oil on my hands here. Just going to grease up my hands with olive oil, and just going to position this into this rectangular pan. I watched my dad do this for years and years and years, and it was just done by hand like this, not rolled out or anything. So we want it's sufficient to do it this way, and you want to have some little indents in the pizza as well, because that's part of the charm of the pizza. And you want to make it as even as you can across here. You don't want a lot of big divots of pizza once it rises and cooks in the oven. So something like that. Okay, so I've got it covered up like this. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take the chunks of cheese like this, and we're going to sort of push the chunks in like this. So you'll see that I'm sort of just pushing them into the dough. So we're going to do that. Take these chunks here. You can use as much as you want, but typically like it, you'll see the sort of the distribution that I'm using here. So you'll see it's kind of distributed like that, okay? So we've got that. All right, next thing is the tomato. So I'm taking the individual pieces of tomato like this, and I'm going to break them up into little chunks as I'm placing them on the pizza. So I'm breaking them up with my hand into little chunks, and I'm going to push that into the dough as well. So that's going to go in like that. So I'm just pushing this in. Next thing we'll do is we'll prepare the onions. Okay, so we basically need about a quarter onion. I'm going to make sure I've got the end cut off there, and what we're going to do is slice this very, very thin, like this. So thin slices. We're going to leave these pieces long and thin like this. And similar to the tomato and cheese, we're going to press these into the dough Same kind of thing. So let's move that over here, bring the dough over again. So we're gonna take these and kind of press them in. Again, it's about a quarter onion, but if you like onions a lot, then yeah, go for it. You can put some more in as you wish, but you know, you don't want to overwhelm it too much with onion, but it is a key part of the recipe. So about a quarter onion should do. It's pressed in as well, so we're good. That should be enough for us. So you can see it's sort of throughout the pizza, so that's good. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab a bowl. Okay, so we're going to get a bowl here, put the breadcrumbs in. So we probably need about, let me think, half a cup of breadcrumbs, about a half a cup of breadcrumbs, and then a bunch of oregano in here that we're going to mix in with the breadcrumbs. So a good amount of oregano, you'll see when it's mixed in, a little more than that. So I'm going to say it's about, let's say a tablespoon of oregano with a half a cup of breadcrumbs. So you'll see it's mixed in there like that. All right. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to spread it across the top here. We're going to sort of put a coating on top of the pizza with this breadcrumb mixture. We don't want to go too thick with it, but we want to at least cover the top of the pizza. You'll see that you won't be able to see any of the dough underneath. But again, you don't want big chunks of breadcrumb layers on top. You just want to cover it basically like that. So you can see that. Okay, so done that. Last thing we do is we take the olive oil. We're going to drizzle it lengthwise in a zigzag, and then widthwise another zigzag, and that'll do it. Okay, so this is our ready to go. Oh, actually, I forgot salt. So my favorite. So take a pinch of the salt, and you're basically just spreading it across here. You know, if you use a shaker, I guess you're just kind of shaking it across the top of the pizza. You need a little bit of bite from the salt, otherwise it's a bit of a dull flavor. Okay, so that's probably, I guess, maybe half a teaspoon worth that's spread across the top, maybe a little less depending on your liking in terms of salt. And we're going to put this in the oven. We're going to start it at about 400 and go for about 12-13 minutes. So we'll do that, and then we'll see if that works out. And what we're looking for is really the bottom of the pizza being nice and brown, and the top also showing some browning. Sometimes what I do is I'll do the 12 or 13 minutes and I'll throw the broiler on for maybe 2 minutes just to brown the top a little bit. So let's do that. 400, 13 minutes, 12 to 13 minutes. Then we'll take a look. We'll put the broiler on for a couple of minutes. All right. The other thing I want to mention is put this on the bottom rack at the bottom, because we want it to cook from the bottom as you do with most pizzas. So put it on the bottom rack because we want that nice crispy bottom that you can chew into. Hi, okay, all right, so this has been in the oven for 12 minutes, 400 degrees, and also on the broiler for about 2.5 minutes. And that's the pizza here. So what I'm gonna do is I've let it sit for about a minute or two. You'll see that the bottom's nice and round and nice and crunchy. I'm just gonna pick it up and stick it on here. So I've got this sort of deep dish pizza here. So we're gonna let it rest for about I don't know, 5 minutes or so, and then we will cut it up. All right. Okay, it's been resting for about 5 minutes to cool down a bit, and I'm gonna use scissors. I'm using scissors, kitchen scissors, ones that are used for culinary purposes, to cut this up. In my case, I'm gonna just do four rows of this. Now, this is the kind of pizza you can have when it's cold, room temperature, hot, as you wish. So you can make it and just kind of let it sit on the counter for a while, and you'll see, you know, that's kind of the thickness of it. It's delicious, okay? All right, hope you enjoy this, and simple, fast recipe, and please enjoy. Sfincione. Ciao.